Hi guys. Today I'm going to be reading Santa is Coming to Canada. Santa is coming to Canada. Well, well, boomed Santa. Have all the children from Canada been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Canada had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the stack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. The youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped the coordinates for Canada. This will guide us to Canada in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the great white north. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing over the Beaufort Sea. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Nunavut and on toward Ontario. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They were just crossing over Hudson Bay when, suddenly, they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa Nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But, ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Ding dong, ding dong. Then through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Whoa! Cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. That must be the bells of Notre Dame Cathedral Basilica in Ottawa. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. You have arrived, the Santa Ned said unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were, stuck right at the very top of the Peace Tower on Parliament Hill. Everybody pull! The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Parliament of Canada. Santa steered them safely above the Ottawa River, over Victoria Island, past Claudius Falls, and down into Gatineau Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents in order. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Canada, hopping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Montreal and small chimneys in Charlottetown. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Yellowknife and plummeted down fat chimneys in Halifax. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like children in Canada were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Canada had left out a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Saskatoon to St. John's, from Vancouver to Iqaluit, from Calgary to Quebec, from Winnipeg to Whitehorse, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Canada. Santa delivered presents to Allison, Andrew, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ariane, Ashley. The list went on and on. Zibble. Maybe that must be a spelling mistake. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zia, Zibble. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Canada list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over Nathan Phillips Square, across the Great Lakes, past Olympic Park, and above Mount Logan through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Canada! Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the story of Santa is Coming to Canada.